Hey guys, welcome back. We're here to do another Read It or Unhaul It. We are going to be picking from the jar. We actually have some work going on in our house. We're cutting down a tree, so there is a lot of noise outside right now. But we are here to do another Read It or Unhaul It. And I have yet to edit the one that I literally just finished last week. So today is Thursday, July 17th. We're going to be picking another book from the jar. Finally, I feel like it's been absolutely ages. We're probably going to run into a lot that I've already gotten rid of. To start, I do want to say that I just started Blood Fever. This is the second in the Fever series because I got completely addicted to the first one, so I immediately picked up the second one. I'm really enjoying this. A blue one. All right, this means this is like a contemporary fiction. Pirate looks at 50. I already got rid of that one. Nope. Okay, another blue one. A Slow Fire Burning. This is a mystery thriller, Slow Fire Burning, a gripping story of deceit, murder, and revenge from the blockbuster author of The Girl on the Train. Yeah, Girl on the Train. I actually attempted to read that one and ended up DNFing it. I really didn't like the storytelling style. When a young man is found gruesomely murdered in a London houseboat, it triggers questions about three women who knew him. Laura is a troubled one-night stand last seen in a victim's home. Carla is his grief-stricken aunt, already mourning the recent death of yet another family member, and Miriam is a nosy neighbor, clearly keeping secrets from the police. Three women with separate connections to the victim. Three women who are, for different reasons, simmering with resentment. This does actually sound incredibly good though, so wish me luck. Alright, we're back for some updates. I actually have quite a bit of updates. It's been several days since I have updated because we've just been so busy. Anyways, I say that all the time. Who isn't busy, right? I have been blasting through this series, the Fever series. I read the first 3 books and I'm on to the 4th book. I don't even know what to say about that book right now. On the verge of I don't know what to do with myself with it. I think I do want to continue on because I still have the 5th book, the physical book of the 5th book. I'm reading the 4th book on ebook, and I still have the 5th book, Shadow Fever. And we'll have to talk about that, my experience with that, at a later date. The first 3 books were really quite short, really quick reads. I'm not sure how long the 3rd book is. I think it's over 300 pages, which doesn't seem like that long. And then Shadow Fever is incredibly long, so we really amp up what's going on in the 5th book. And there's actually 11 books in the series now, which I wasn't aware of. I thought it was a fairly short series. So we'll see if I'm in it for the long haul to read the entire collection. But I do at least want to get through this book. Now, I have been loving that series so much that I'm like, oh my gosh, I might end up having to actually keep these books because I've been loving them. But I do think that at the end of the day, this is not a series I would return to, so I'm probably going to get rid of the books when I'm finished reading them. The 2nd book, and then the 2nd book I have in the mass market paperback. So I don't necessarily want to keep this mismatched series. I think if I get to the end of it and it's something that I really love, maybe I would look for a whole matching set if I felt like I needed to own the series. But I think at the end of the day, I have concluded that I'm going to get rid of these books when I'm finished reading them. So for the pick out of the jar, it was this one, A Slow Fire Burning. I'm just not interested in it anymore. It's not doing anything. It feels like a chore. It feels like homework. This is why I don't film when you're home.
I didn't know who you were talking to. I was just like, what?
This is just feeling like homework. This is not a place that I want to be. It doesn't feel like a fun read. So I'm going to go ahead and DNF this book. I didn't really make it all that far. I made it to a point where we have an unreliable narrator based off of her having this thing, not unreliable narrator, based off of kind of a mental issue. I don't want to spoil it for you just in case you are interested. It actually is a very interesting premise, but this just, as you all know, this is just not my general genre. And up until that moment, I was really just kind of passively listening to it and not really taking in what it was really saying. not really inspiring, so I'm gonna go ahead and DNF this one. I did finish the Wildling Sisters. I will say from about halfway, it just started feeling really long. This follows two different timelines, and it just feels like a similar setup to many other books like this that I have read before, and it just kind of was fairly predictable and a little bit of coincidental overlap between the story of the past and the story of the present. And I just feel like the more often I read the same kind of setup, it feels like it's kind of exhausted. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, I do think that this book is written very well. I need to love the characters, and the characters are kind of bland to me. They're kind of placeholders for the plot, and I just couldn't really get that connected to the characters. And I feel like, especially when the plot is a little bit overdone, you really have to love the characters. You really have to love the characters and like want to know wonder what they're gonna do, wonder what they're gonna say, how their relationships are, just love their personality and their character, and I'm not feeling that really from them, so that's what that is. Also, sorry for all the background noise. We have a full house today, just is what it is. House of Testosterone. This is a book I recently just decided I'm going to get unhaul. Flip through some of the stories. It's broken up to very easy to read kind of thing, but really it's just this woman's personal story of living in a house. It's just this woman's story and recounting of what it's like living in a house full of four boys and herself being the only female, and just the humor and all that kind of stuff, which I thought that would be great because I could identify with that. I'm the only female in a house full of boys myself, and I do laugh with my friends about that because my best friend also has two boys. It definitely is just a different, it seems like it's an interesting experience, you know what I mean? Because boys will run you ragged sometimes. I don't know if it's 100%. I don't know how I feel about this. I guess my experience is a little bit different though, because she's talking about like, she had this whole chapter about like how everybody in her house likes sports, and I didn't really get into it that much. That's not really an experience that we have in our house. We definitely do sports and stuff like that, but like my kids are also into a lot of other things like video games and their own thing. I don't know what it is. It just feels like something that's very boys into sports, girls into this kind of thing. I don't know. It just felt, something about it just kind of fell off to me. So anyways, not enjoying it, gonna get rid of it. I also have a whole bunch more books I have added to the unhaul pile. We are on this very massive, like, cleaning out our house of unnecessary stuff lately. Yesterday, we just got rid of like 5 bags of clothes and excessive things, an old fan that didn't work that great, and it felt really great. So I've been doing really well with that, cleaning out my bookshelves. I think at the end of this video, we're also going to go through all the books that I have ended up with by the end of the month, which is, it is the 23rd. So I have about another week until the last day of July. So I think I'll wait till the very last day of July and we'll go through all the books that I am getting rid of, because I feel like in the next 7 days we're probably going to have some more to add to the pile. Another book I started, I checked out the audiobook for this. This is The Buried Giant. I don't know how I'm feeling about this. I haven't 100% decided to DNF this book just yet, because there is supposed to be an underlying like really big message about relationships. I'm going to take a step back from this book and just kind of give it a little bit more time and sit on it for a little bit longer. I have also been kind of working on this book, Sisters. It is a werewolf retelling. I wasn't really sure about that, but so this is like a Little Red Riding Hood retelling. It says Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf, Sisters Red. So I'm kind of working on that. Seeing as how we're done with this one, we're going to go ahead and grab the jar and pick another book. I'm trying to think of what I'm hoping for. I'm just really on like, I think a fantasy kick. What is this? A blue one? I don't know what that says. This says, oh, When Dimple Met Rishi. I already got rid of that one. Okay. There is a lot in here that I have already gotten rid of. Uh-oh, a white one. The Mercies? What the heck is that? Okay, I'm gonna have to go hunt this book down, so I'll be right back. Okay, I don't know where this book is. It's possible I already got rid of it. Let's try this again. Let's go for the top. Okay, another white one. I get nervous every time I do the white ones. Oh, Trial of Lizzie Borden. Already did that one. Okay. Oh, we got a purple one. This is my jam. I don't know what that one is. Okay. The Luminaries. Cool. I'm excited for this one. The Luminaries. This is one I'm actually really excited for. I think I'm going to enjoy it. Hemlock Falls isn't like other towns. You won't find it on a map. Your phone won't work here. And the forest outside town might kill you. Winnie Wednesday wants nothing more than to join the Luminaries, the ancient order that protects humanity from the nightmares that rise in the forest of Hemlock Falls each night. Ever since her father was exposed as a traitor, Winnie and her family have been shunned. But on her 16th birthday, she can take the deadly luminary, hunter trials, and restore her family's good name, or die trying. So this is the bin, obviously, that I have been using, which, hey, it works out really nice, but I'm actually going to be upgrading to this bin. So I thought what I would actually do is go through these and put the ones I have not read yet in here. I've been getting rid of a ton of books. Okay, so Signature of All Things, I went ahead and got rid of that one. Flowers of Darkness, I still have that one. A Long Petal of the Sea, still have that one. Walk in the Woods, I got rid of that one. Okay, I'm actually going to be taking some of these out as well. Bleak House, I feel like if I realistically pick this from the jar, this is not a book I could just sit down and read. I need preparation for these. I think next year I'm actually going to be doing something different as well. I'm going to do different color system. I'm going to be putting a different set of books in here, and they're going to be books that like I'm kind of iffy about whether or not I want to keep them, whether I even like them, that sort of system, more than just every single book that I own. Okay, I'm finished. This is the pile of books that I have gotten rid of. Some of them I have read. We're gonna go ahead and put them in here. This is the cup that I was putting all of the papers until this point. So we're just gonna dump these in here as well. There we go. So these are the ones that I have either gotten rid of or I have read, or both. We'll look at it again at the end of the year. I'm gonna put together a combustible TBR box. So anything I put in this box, if I don't get to it by the end of the year, it's gotta go. I never really thought I'd be the kind of person that would be brave enough to do something like that, except as I'm going around my shelves looking at stuff and I'm just really in this mood to like make things more minimal, I've been noticing a lot of books and I'm like, maybe I should just get rid of this now. But I'm like, I keep holding on to it because like, for whatever reason, I feel like I should keep it. So I have probably one entire shelf that can go in the box. Yeah. Can't really see what's in here from there, but we have a couple of just really giant books. I don't even honestly know what I was thinking when I brought these home, but we have this one, A Suitable Boy. Like, oh my goodness. Forever Amber. This one I've almost gotten rid of a few times, except it's like supposed to be very, very important book in China, and that is April 3rd. But I just feel like, okay, I just need to either read it or get rid of it. The Revolution of Marina M. I'm not even gonna lie, I totally picked this up because it has a really cool cover, but historical fiction I'm finding is kind of like, I'm just not that interested in it, you know? Then we have The Silk Roads. This is, I'm pretty sure it's like nonfiction. Listen, it's a lot. This Alexander Hamilton. I could have sworn I thought I had gotten rid of this book. Apparently I didn't. All Light We Cannot See. This is an author that I read some of his short stories, and I just think he's the most wonderful writer. But I also didn't realize this is like World War II historical fiction. So, but it is his winner of the Pulitzer Prize. I do want to give it a try, but I need to like decide or not decide because I am very hesitant. I don't know that I don't know that's going to be the book for me. Then we have The General and His Labyrinth. I'm kind of at odds with this author. I don't really enjoy this author very much, but I was going to give this to my friend, and she was like, oh, this is actually one of my favorite books that he has written. So she's like, I would really just give it a try. I'm like, okay, fine. So I'm going to try this one. It's supposed to be a magical retelling of this like French Revolution or something like that. I have read Unhaul It by this author, and I really liked that one. This one I literally just tossed in there right now, but it's called The Same Time Next Summer. Actually, this is a summer book I was wanting to read before summer is out. So I think I'm going to give myself to the end of August to read this one. And that's what's in the box. I'm honestly looking at this box just thinking, I'm just going to unhaul it. If I end up getting rid of some of these books, then I might end up putting more books in there to kind of decide over for a few months. So this box might end up being very like transitionary, you know? Hey guys, we have some updates. The Luminaries, unfortunately, this is a no-go. I ended up DNFing this book. We will have to talk about it more later at a later time, but it's very, very busy around here, so I'm waiting till it's a little bit more quiet around here to really get into a lot of discussion, but I wanted to go ahead and pick another book. Okay. Oh, good. Fantasy. I don't know what this one is. Trail of Lightning. I'm actually really excited for this one. Again, hopefully it goes well. This one has popped up as recommended books to read if you like Buffy, so I'm actually really excited for this. It's not too incredibly long. Wish me luck that I can get into this one. Alright guys, we'll talk soon when I have more updates. I'll explain Luminaries. Hey guys, this is my editing self. We are well into August and I haven't finished editing this video yet because it has just been absolutely chaotic with the beginning of school, and I'm trying to get back up on some more content, and so I've been procrastinating on the editing. Sorry. So now I'm sitting here editing it, and I have a huge portion of the video, the mic wasn't plugged in or something like that. I'm going to do my best to try to fill in the gap. I wanted to specifically talk about the Luminaries, which I ended up DNFing at 57%. I had made it so far that I was like, at this point I should just finish it. But I just couldn't anymore. First of all, I wasn't able to connect to most of the book. It was just really kind of touch and go of like, what the hell was even happening? Our main character, her name's like Winnie or something, and she really wants to join the Luminaries, which is like a hunting group. But in order to join, she has to like do this life-threatening, high-stakes trial to kind of like prove herself. I'm glad that I made notes in my Google Keep because I haven't had the opportunity to like talk about it, and it's been so long now, like I did really kind of forget a lot of it. I'm just gonna like read my notes. 57%. I feel disappointed. I had this book hyped up in my mind. It feels a little more young than expected, and it's for the aesthetics. I feel like that is something that's happening a lot in some young adult fantasy where it's so forceful. It's hard to explain exactly what it is. I felt that that was very much present in another book I tried reading, Moonhatch. Like everything was about moons and like celestial imagery and all this kind of stuff, and it felt kind of sort of like that. There's this really big feeling of what's cool in the 90s aesthetics, which I'm a 90s kid and I love that stuff. I think it's really cool, but I'm just not enjoying it like I thought I would. There's this really odd description that keeps repeating, and it's clicking teeth. And at first I was like, okay, that's a little odd way to say, you know, like chattering teeth because someone is anxious. That's kind of, it kept coming up and I was thinking, well, maybe it's because the character's anxious. However, it kept being used over and over for every other emotion under the sun. It did not even make sense, and it was so odd. It just really, really stands out. The clans' names are after days of the week, and I felt that that was kind of weird. Maybe there's a reason behind it, and I just didn't make it that far. Like, maybe that's part of, like, once you're in the Luminaries, like, if you're in the Mondays group, you go hunting Mondays. I don't know. But that I'm really big on names. The writing seems to be well thought out. Scenes have lots of explanations and descriptions, but then odd time skips. The trials feel weak, missing the intensity of high stakes, and they seem more convenient. The first trial, she kills a banshee solo of all the time, an organization's education. There's no accountability for her actually completing the trial. I thought that was really weird. So you could just walk up and just be like, oh yeah, I did it. I don't know. Trial 2. She has to run through misty forest and climb a tree and wait. Her mentor is a fellow peer who doesn't really have any advice on how to do it, just that she can if she has faith. There's also a lot of sound. There's also sound effects. I don't know why. That's another one of those things that kind of plays into it feeling like it's written for a younger audience. I ended up just quitting because it just kept getting worse. Like, I just kept pointing out more and more things that I just didn't like about it, and it was just bad. So that was really unfortunate. I will say they put the money into excellent design teams because it was the most gorgeous cover. I love that cover. It just is very unfortunate, again, that the inside doesn't match the outside. So that is that. I think there was more updates on the lightning thief. At this point, I still have not finished that one. I'm going to have to probably just stop trying. I'm just going to have to do a, finish tying up loose ends kind of vlog where I just finish the books I've started and quit doing the unhauls for a little bit because I have a lot of books that I need to finish them. That's probably what I'm going to do here in a little bit, is dedicate maybe the rest of August towards that. Oh yes, and then that was also the clip where I showed off all of the books that I was unhauling for the month of July. And it was crazy. At the end of it, I packed 4 large tote bags full of all the books. And I still have the pictures, even though I don't have the sound over it, of what that stacked looked like. And then I think the clip after this shows all the books that I ended up... Hey guys, let's go ahead and do a follow-up of all the books that I unhauled. I went ahead and took them to my buy-sell trade store just yesterday. Also, please excuse that background noise. It is the robot vacuum. It's doing its rounds, and it takes a little bit of time. I'm on a time frame here, and I can't wait until it's finished doing its thing, so hopefully the mic will help. Anyways, I wanted to go ahead and talk about all the books that I got with my trade-in credit. I had 4 large totes of books, basically like this size. However, the store that I go to is under new management, new ownership actually, and they said on their website that they have limitations of how many books they can process during a visit. They said 1 large tote or 2 grocery bags full. I ended up taking 2 large totes, and I said, if this is too much, don't worry about it. But she said she was kind of slow, so she could do the 2 large totes. So I got 2 of them done. They took most of the books except for maybe about 6 books, which is absolutely excellent to me. I still feel like 2 of them are Colleen Hoover books, which I was actually really surprised about. But I am going to try them again at a different location. But for all the books that they did take, she gave me $53 of credit in store, and I ended up spending $40. And then next Saturday, I'm going to take the other 2 bags. Or maybe I'll take 1 bag and try to space it out a little bit. So the first one is this one, The Slayer Chronicles First Kill. This is a companion series that takes place after the Chronicles of Vladimir Todd. And Vladimir Todd, I think, follows a kid that is 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, because gets turned into a vampire. And this one follows the Slayers on the other side and gives like a different picture of the world and the situation and the characters from the Slayer side. So I think this is a series I'm really gonna like. I've been very particular at collecting the books in paperback format for the Chronicles of Vladimir Todd. I have the first 2 books. Then I have the second Cirque de Freak book because I already have the first one. The Belly of Paris by Emile Zola. This one just sounds so incredibly good. It takes a look at wealth from both sides. The Belly of Paris is a story of Florent, a wrongly accused man who escapes imprisonment on Devil's Island. Returning to his native Paris, he finds a city he barely recognizes, with its working classes displaced to make way for broad boulevards, bourgeoisie, flats. Living with his brother's family in a newly rebuilt market, he's soon caught up in the dangerous maelstrom of food and politics. Glorious culinary bounty of their labors. We see the dramatic difference between fat and thin, rich and poor, and how the widening gulf between them strains a city to the breaking point. Anyways, I picked this one up, put it down, picked it up, put it down a few times, but I did end up, obviously, I ended up bringing it home because this does say that it has absolutely gorgeous writing, especially like food writing and things like that. And then I'm also very fascinated with themes of rich and poor. I did get a couple of children's books. The Babysitter's Club Super Special #1 of that series. They also had #4, but they didn't have #2. I was going to get that one as well, but I decided against it. This is just more of like one of those things that's very nostalgic to me because I grew up with Babysitter's Club. I love the movie. That's kind of going to go up on my collector shelf. Another R.L. Stine book, Ghost of Fear Street. These, again, I kind of pick them up when I find them for a really cheap price. I think this was like $2. Yeah, this was $2. It's obviously a little bit beat up, which is completely fine. But I have slowly been kind of collecting some more of these R.L. Stine books. Again, I grew up with these, and I think they would be still super entertaining to read even as an adult. Then we got Storm of Locusts. This is the second book in a series. I am actually currently reading the first one, and I actually saw this the last time I was there, but I ended up not getting it because I was like, I need to quit doing that to myself. I need to make sure that I'm committed to the series and I really like it before I start buying the sequels. So since I am really loving the first one, I ended up picking up this one. Okay, this is kind of crazy, but I have actually been collecting the Twilight Saga series in the paperback format when I find them incredibly cheap. This one was $5 because I have a project where I'm going to be marking up all of the books when I do my next reread, and I just don't want to do that to my hardback books. So I've been slowly kind of collecting the paperbacks. And then this compendium of R.L. Stine's Fear Street books, The Beginning. This has The New Girl, The Surprise Party, The Overnight, and The Missing. So we have 4 books in one. I think this is a really nice collection. Okay, the robot vacuum is literally in the library. So yeah, this book was like $5 as well, and I'm really pleased to have this. I also think this will go in really, really well. The themes that I see in Buffy the Vampire Slayer being that there's all this weird, wacky stuff happening in this small town. And then I got the third book in the Mercy Thompson series, The Iron Kissed. This is definitely a shifter series that I'm really, really enjoying. It's an urban fantasy, but it's clean as well. Like a lot of urban fantasy have a lot of adult content that gets really pushed, and this is a clean urban fantasy, which I'm really enjoying that. Okay, those are all the books that I traded in with credit. I am so pleased with the options that I brought home. I completely stayed out of the general fiction area. I hit up the young adult fantasy, then I go over to the science fiction and adult fantasy, and the horror, and the classics. And that's my realm. I stay there in those areas. Alright, the vacuum's a little confused. Alright, guys, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.